So here we are on my main YouTube page where I upload my videos, and I'm going to go to the Create button in the upper right hand corner. You see where my cursor is at, and I click that, and then I go to Upload Video. So we're going to go here to Select Files. You can go up to your channel profile icon and go down to here, YouTube Studio, and you can access YouTube Studio that way. You can see my cursor, and then we'll open up the folder where my video is located, and I have a rough video that I have not edited, but I'm just going to use it as an example. So let's make a title, and every video needs a title as well as a thumbnail, and I think those are the only two requirements, but we're going to go through all of the fields and fill out what I believe is kind of the most simple yet comprehensive way of approaching all of this metadata or all of these information fields. So let's just make a title. This video is not really about making the best titles or descriptions. It's just kind of going through the process of filling out this information. So I'm just going to make a random title here. Upgrade your life. And the description, I'm just going to make write a random sentence. This is a test featuring a rough draft video. And this information that you put in the description box will, people approach this very differently. It could just essentially be a quick summary of what is going on in the video. The thumbnail is important, and so we're going to go here and upload the file. Again, this is not a tutorial about how to create a good thumbnail. I'm just using a random screenshot, and we're just going to put that one up there. So I double click my thumbnail, and then it's showing. I wanted to give you another option for thumbnails, which includes this option right here. So if you go down to the thumbnail area and then click auto generated, you can come here. It may take a couple minutes, but you can come here to auto generated thumbnail, and you can see that it's auto generating and loading, and it's going to present to you three options here, and it says select an image from your video to use as a thumbnail. And all three of usually it does a pretty good job. It kind of selects three moments that kind of are interesting. And I don't know why it's not showing this middle one, but here we have, you can just select, this is kind of cool. So I'm going to select that one, and then it shows how it's going to look on your YouTube channel. Setting the thumbnail that way really just simplifies and speeds up the process. What we did before, again, was to manually upload, or to create a thumbnail and then manually upload that. If you want more control, then you can do it that way, the manual upload, in terms of creating your own file, creating your own thumbnail image first. So this way, if you do it the auto-generated way, you are not able to put your own thumbnail text, for example. Playlists, I do not select playlists. There are probably good reasons why. There are pros and cons to selecting a playlist. I just like to keep things really simple. So just leave that as it is. And in terms of audience here, I always select this. No, it's not made for kids, because I'm not making specific videos for kids. I always click here the expand arrow down, and that continues the age field, and automatically it'll have this: no, don't restrict my video to viewers over 18 only. And I go ahead and just leave that selected. So now here is where you can get into some more details in terms of filling out this metadata. And I'm going to click this Show More button. Paid promotion. My video contains paid promotion like a product placement, sponsorship, or endorsement. Now, if this is your first YouTube video, or early on in your YouTube video uploading, you don't have to select that. I always select no for this one. Altered content. Do any of the following describe your content? Makes a real person appear to say or do something they didn't say or do. Alters footage of a real event or place. Generates a realistic looking scene that didn't actually occur. Now for your first or your initial series of videos, there's a good chance that you will not be doing this. And so I always click no. For me, I never do this. However, your channel down the line may kind of begin to use AI to make a real person appear to say something that they didn't say or do. I guess there's always the chance, right? What about this one? Generates a realistic looking scene that didn't actually occur. That happens a lot now with AI content, and you may fall into that category one day, as I mentioned before. So down the road, you may be selecting yes for this one, but at least for now, you can choose no, especially if this is your first video. Okay, so we move down. Invite a collaborator. I've never done this before, but maybe in the future. Automatic chapters. Now, I don't do this. Yes, I just avoid doing this. I believe that you can just simplify your video by unselecting these boxes, okay? And I don't want to actually go too much into detail about this, but this is regarding automatic chapters, featured places, and automatic concepts. So I believe that things will, if you have these boxes selected, things will automatically appear in your description or even within the video itself. I'm not too certain, but I've always deselected these boxes. Tags. I do not include tags. I used to, but there are pros and cons to doing it, and they say that these days tags play less of an important role in your video and kind of pushing the video out to more people. I'm not certain about that, so you can correct me if I'm wrong there, but I always do not include tags. Now, language and captions certification, I do select English here, and I am from the United States, so I'm going to select that. There are a couple English options here from different countries, okay? So you will select your language of choice. And let's move on here. For caption certification, I've always done none. Recording date and location, I don't want to really kind of get into providing this much detail because I feel like I just upload the video and that's enough as it is in terms of the day that I upload the video is sort of the day that the video is, or the date that the video is associated with. So I just leave it at none. License, standard YouTube license sounds good to me. Allow embedding, yes. Publish to subscriptions feed and notify subscribers, yes. I leave those two boxes checked. Shorts remixing, let others create shorts using content from this video. I also just leave it on this one. Allow video and audio remixing. Now this is an important aspect that you may need to just give a little bit of thought to, and this is what category your video falls within. or falls into. You can see here all of the different categories. For me, most of the time, my content falls into education or people and blogs. So you can kind of do a little bit of research. This is what AI is good for, I think, and go into a chat and either write or speak a summary of your video and ask the question, can you select the best category for a YouTube video? And then it'll give you a good category, and I think you can just run with that. So comments and ratings here. I always just keep it to the default here, which are the comments are going to be on, moderation basic. Anyone can comment and sort from the top. I leave that box selected, show how many viewers like this video. And here is a little preview. You can always play the preview. It provides a link here and a file. The file name is not important. This is just the original file name for the video itself as it was uploaded from your computer. So now we have everything kind of taken care of here, and let's click next. So for your first video or first few videos, you don't have to worry about adding subtitles unless you want more control and kind of a specific look to your subtitles. I've never done this option here of adding my own subtitles. I've always relied on YouTube and its ability to auto subtitle. And here we have adding an end screen, but for your first videos, you don't have to do this. By adding an end screen, it could encourage your viewers to kind of binge watch 2 or 3 videos. There's always that chance. Having said that, I do, again, for my more recent videos, I do add end screens and a little logo. I think for now, just leave it blank or just skip it. Now for ad cards, I don't do this. I really don't know what this is, and I've always skipped it. Add a quiz. I'm sure that this can also improve your presence and viewership, but I don't do this. Maybe I'll do it in the future. It's not important for your first video or videos, so let's go ahead and click next. Here we have the initial check, and this is where sometimes if your video is, 20, 30 minutes long, this can take a little extra time. But, the video that I uploaded, yes, the test video that I uploaded was only 6 minutes. So this process went very quickly. And we get the 2 green check marks, which is good for copyright issues and community guidelines. Looks good. So let's click next. And here we have the save or publish screen and a little preview here. And again, you can play that preview, adjust the volume. You can actually maximize it. I don't really do this because I don't mess with this too much because I like previewing my videos by selecting private here. And I think this is an important, at least for me, it's very important. I like doing the private option so that I can look at it and just make sure that everything looks okay. And here we have the other options, which include unlisted as well as public. And I don't mess with unlisted. For me, it's either private or public. And most of the time, I initially set it at private, review it, and I'll show you that process. Review it myself, and then when it's ready, I can easily switch private to public. I'll show you actually. It's just a very quick little couple clicks. You can also schedule the upload of your video, which is very handy if you're going on vacation. So let's see here. I don't want to schedule, so let's go back to save publish here, and I'm gonna make sure that's on private. And I go here, before you publish, check the following. Do kids appear in this video? I usually don't go into this. I don't have to worry about this, rather. And then I say save. Now this video is on my channel content. It'll go directly to this page here. And then you see it right here. And then what do you do to preview it? Now this, again, is not visible to anybody else except for you. And you just click it here, and it will show you all of the details here. And you can actually go in here like this and change some things around. And then it goes through all of the metadata also. You can show more here, all of this stuff that we already filled out. If you ever need to change something, if you forgot to do something, you can always go back here to this screen and sort through what you might need to revise and change, and then when you're done with changing things, you can come to this button here. It will be active and you can push save. And let me plug in my computer real quick. So let's check this out here, plug this in, and my fans might start running, which may create a little more noise. But anyway, here we have save or undo changes. I'm not going to make any corrections, so these buttons are not active right now. And here is, again, a preview thumbnail of the video, and you can click here and you see that it says view on YouTube, so I'll click that, and then a new window pops open and it presents this video with my hair in a mess here. And it's funny how, you know, I don't have to worry about that because most of the time I'm facing the camera. So anyway, here we have this test video, and you can kind of come down here. It says it's private here, and I click more, and you know, usually my description is, you know, 4 to 6 to 8 sentences, so it'll take up a little more space here. And then it just shows you basically how this video will look to other people when it is publicly uploaded. And so if everything, you can review the video. I don't need to review this because, again, it's just a rough video that I haven't edited yet, and I'm just using this to kind of provide a sample and focus mainly on the metadata, filling out all of those information fields. So let's go ahead and click out of this, and here we're back here to to the video details, and we can click back arrow here on channel content, and it'll take us back to our channel content hub. I don't know if that's the right term, but basically, if you know, I mean, I have all of my videos here. I have close to 60. But again, if this is just your first video, then you're just going to see this one right here. There was another thing that I wanted to mention. If we're in the save or the publish field, and again, we click private here, and we click save, and you will see then in YouTube Studio, it goes directly to your channel content page or hub. And here is your video, and it lists it as private right here. There's a lock, and it says private, and it says only you and people you choose can see this video. This video won't appear on your channel or search results. So again, this is what I was talking about in terms of being able to preview your video as it will show up online before you actually make it public. But if you want to make this public, and you know, you go through the process of reviewing it, everything looks good. You can even do this from your phone, and you can go ahead and click here. I just clicked, once again, I'll go back. It says private. I click the down arrow, the expand, and I go to public, and I click public, and then it'll activate this button down here. You see my cursor in the lower right hand screen. You can then click save, and your video will be public. If for whatever reason you would like to take down your private video, you just come over here to your channel content page, click the arrow there, and you can, you can cancel this. let me go back here. You can go to the three dots, the options button here, and then just delete forever. And I'm actually going to be doing, I'll be doing this right now so you can see what it looks like. Delete forever. I'm deleting this one. You say, yes, I understand. And you just click delete forever. And then this video goes bye-bye. And that is good for me because that was just a rough video that I still need to edit and polish up a little bit before uploading publicly. Anyway, that's about the extent of everything you need to do. And it actually, over time, after a couple of these kind of sessions, you go through them faster and faster. It becomes a lot easier. Anyway, it looks like that's about it. And it's actually a lot more painless probably than you imagined. There is some detail in there, but a lot of it you don't have to worry about, especially, again, if it's your first video or your first series of videos. Having said that, I wouldn't worry so much about editing when it comes to your first video or videos. The most important thing is to get it up there, warts and all. You can do some very basic editing, but these first videos are important in the sense that you're kind of breaking through a barrier in terms of getting more comfortable with the whole process of putting up your videos, seeing yourself online, okay? And in the end, it's not as big of a deal as you might imagine or you might be feeling. After the first one or two videos, you'll have a lot more perspective on it, and it will seem a lot less of a big deal than it did before those first couple videos.